Chapter 1, Knowledge Overview. Welcome to the personality type of the K's, or knowledge. Now, when you think about knowledge, you think about obviously a lot of things that are related to learning, education, information, intellect, and things like that. I associated this with the color of green because I can't help but think of Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, which their logo is green. Okay, they're a very green, analytical, logical, processing computer chip. Of course, the K's, who are completely knowledge consumption based, are most likely the ones that listen through this entire audio program, eager to learn and acquire new information. That's precisely what this personality type is about. So let's go through some of the values and strengths of the K personality type. First of all, their number one value is more knowledge and more learning. Anything that they can learn about the product or the service or the opportunity, they're going to be excited about. They also value competence. Now that's competence in terms of product integrity, that it actually works. It's competence in terms of your skill set as a sales professional working with them, the people that are involved in the organization, and also their perceived competence around how they would respond to the product or the opportunity. If they fear that they might not be competent at doing this activity, then they may choose to avoid it altogether. Their value is based on also the acquisition of new intelligence. I joke about and say, okay, if you had business cards for all four personality types, the B's are going to put the acronym of their accomplishments, like MBA, at the end of it. An A would put their financial net worth, their portfolio income, on their business card. The N would put the number of people whose lives they've helped. And the K's would put their IQ score on their business card, right? They really do value intelligence. So if your product can make them smarter or better in that capacity, they will want to get involved. They also value self-mastery because they really do look at the total experience, and by self-mastery, anything that they can learn to get better at and practice until perfection is going to be the K personality. They also value concepts. They can think very outside the box. They are all about universal truths and seeing the larger picture. They've got a lot of insight. I mean, we wouldn't have a space shuttle or transportation or anything super advanced, even electricity, if it weren't for the K's with their creative, inventing minds. They also are all about making progress, and they're committed to accuracy. Things must be precise. Remember in Back to the Future where you have Doc, right? He looks like Einstein, and the machine has to hit precisely 88 miles an hour in order to go back into the future. So these are going to be examples of K-style personalities and the things that they value. Their strengths of what they bring to the table is, first of all, very strategic and very abstract thinking. If there's a better way to do things or more efficient, they're going to analyze the product or the opportunity, and they're going to tell you about it, right? They'll critique you on your own company. They are very visionary type people, like we talked about. They use precision in thought and language. So when they communicate, things must come out very precise and very accurate. And if they fear that they're not the subject matter experts, they may become completely silent and not want to participate for fear of saying the wrong or inaccurate information. They hate to be corrected by anybody in front of a room. Okay, so if they do make a mistake, you don't ever want to challenge their intellect in front of other people. Their strength is dealing with complexity, right? So you think of computer chips, software programs, etc. Their strength is theory development, so they really can think in terms of theory, the abstract, perpetual learning. They're consumers of learning. Anything that they can do to learn and to make themselves grow and be better, they're all about. They're very rational people. Okay, they think logically, so they are great at solving problems and systems analysis, always searching for a better way, constantly creating and designing new things, more efficient, right? You think of fuel efficiency, just an incredible mind. And of course, last but not least, always committed to the logic. Things absolutely must make sense to the K personality type before they'll purchase the product or get involved in the opportunity. So you want to make sure that your communication with the Ks is all about providing them information, statistics, websites, analyses, blind study tests, results, etc., so that they can solve their insatiable appetite to know all things and justify logically being involved because it makes sense financially, or it makes sense efficiency-wise, or it makes sense for other components of their life that are important to a K.